You keep trying to move on, but they won't leave your thoughts. No matter how much time has passed or how hard you try to forget, their name, their face, or a memory shows up again. You wonder if it's just emotion, but deep down, you know it feels different, like something greater is at work. That quiet stirring in your heart keeps returning, and it's not without purpose. God often speaks through what we feel when we're still. And when a specific person keeps pressing on your heart, it's not always about holding on to the past. It's about what God is trying to show you in the present. Whether it's for healing, growth, prayer, or a possible future, He uses these moments to guide you, not confuse you. We'll talk about clear, powerful reasons God continues to place that person on your heart. If you've been questioning your emotions or wondering what it all means, this message is for you. One, you haven't truly forgiven them in your heart. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses. You might think you've moved on, but if you still feel pain, anger, or resentment when that person comes to mind, then deep down, you haven't truly forgiven them. Forgiveness is more than just saying you're over it. It means letting go in your heart, not bringing it up anymore, and not secretly hoping they feel what you felt. God keeps putting them on your heart because He's giving you another chance to release what you've been holding. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was right. It means you're choosing not to carry the weight of it anymore. When your heart is tied to offense, it affects how you hear God, how you love others, and how you move forward. That person may still be coming to mind because your healing is not complete without forgiving from the inside out. God is reminding you through these feelings that He wants your spirit free. You can't be fully at peace while holding on to hurt. If God is still bringing them to your mind, He's also offering you the strength to forgive them completely. 2, they played a role in your spiritual growth. Knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Some people are only in your life for a short time, but their presence leaves a lasting impact. You may have grown closer to God during the time you knew them, or you found yourself praying more, seeking God more, or learning how to set boundaries and respect yourself. That person may have challenged you, hurt you, or changed you, and through all of it, your faith grew. God doesn't waste experiences, even the hard ones. The reason you still think of them could be because that season of your life helped shape your relationship with Him. You may have discovered patience, inner strength, or how to trust God more through what you went through with them. That's not something your heart forgets easily. He's reminding you of what was built in you during that time. The growth you experienced might be why God keeps them in your thoughts. Not to pull you back, but to remind you how far you've come. Your connection with Him became deeper because of what that person brought into your life. 3, God is preparing you for a possible reconnection. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Sometimes God holds people apart, not to end the relationship, but to do work in both hearts separately. You may still think of them often because your spirit senses that something is not over. That person may be going through their own growth, just as you are, and God is using the time apart to prepare each of you for something better. It's not always easy to wait on what you can't see. You might feel unsure or impatient, wondering why they're still so strong on your heart. But if God hasn't allowed your peace to settle, He could be showing you that He's not done. The thoughts you keep having could be part of His quiet preparation for something new. This doesn't mean you should chase after them. It means stay still, stay prayerful, and let God do what only He can. If a reconnection is in His plan, He will align everything when the time is right. Until then, trust that nothing is being wasted in the waiting. 4, you're still healing from what happened. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Your heart doesn't heal on a schedule. Even when you're trying to stay busy or act like you're fine, the pain can still show up in quiet moments. God keeps bringing that person to mind because you're not fully healed yet. He's showing you what still needs to be addressed deep down. You may have buried the pain instead of facing it. You may feel like crying when you hear their name or remember something that happened. That is your heart's way of saying there's still a scar. God is gentle and patient. He won't let you walk around with hidden wounds. That's why those feelings still come back. He's giving you space to bring that pain to him again. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means the memory no longer controls your emotions. When God brings that person up again, it may not be a sign to reach out. It may just be his way of helping you fully recover. 5. You felt peace when they were in your life. The things which you learned and received and heard and saw in me, these do, and the God of peace will be with you. Peace is one of the biggest ways God confirms something is right. If you had a calm and steady peace when that person was around, you noticed it. Even if things weren't perfect, your heart felt more settled. That kind of peace is hard to forget, and it's often why that person keeps coming back to your thoughts. It doesn't mean you idolize them or place them above God. It means you recognize something in their presence that felt safe, calm, and right for your spirit. God could be allowing you to remember that feeling because it's tied to something real, not imagined. That peace was a glimpse of what he wants for you. Now that they're not around, it feels like something is missing. You're not being over-emotional. You're being reminded of what your heart connected to in a real way. When God puts that memory back in front of you, ask him if it's for closure, healing, or preparation. 6. God is teaching you patience through this waiting. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Waiting is one of the hardest things to do when your heart is involved. You want answers, clarity, or to know if you'll ever speak to them again. But when God keeps them on your heart, he could be teaching you how to wait on his voice and not rush ahead. That waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. When you learn patience, you also learn how to hear better, trust deeper, and let go of control. You may not understand why the delay is happening, but you are being strengthened every day you choose to trust instead of panic. This season may not be about what happens with them. It could be about what happens in you. God sees how much this matters to you. He hasn't forgotten, and he knows the weight it carries. Let this time teach you how to rest in him instead of rushing into answers that aren't ready. 7. They helped you get closer to God. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to which also you were called in one body, and be thankful. Sometimes God uses people to bring you to him. That person may have come into your life during a time when you needed to grow spiritually, and their presence pushed you to pray more, seek God more, or become more aware of what truly matters. They weren't perfect, but God used the relationship to shift your focus. You became more serious about your faith while they were in your life. You noticed how your spiritual life changed, and now, even though they're gone, that part of you is still strong. God may be reminding you of the role they played, not to draw you back into the past, but to help you stay thankful for how you grew. Your closeness to God is not something you would trade, and he wants you to remember that. If you still think of them, it might be tied to the way they were used to open your heart toward him. Let that memory strengthen your walk, not distract it. If the content inspired you, please like, comment, and subscribe to Pure Inspirational. Be blessed.